On top of the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. welcomed United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth earlier today in Malacanang. The meeting focused on strengthening ties, particularly in defense cooperation and the long-standing partnership between the Philippines and the U.S. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has the full report.
Strengthening ties, particularly in defense, was the focus of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s meeting with U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The president emphasized that Hegseth's visit carries an important message, symbolizes the United States' strong commitment to maintaining peace in the Indo-Pacific region.
Your visit to the region, and especially the fact that you have come to the Philippines as your first stop, is a very strong indication and sends a very strong message of the commitment of both our countries to continue to work together to maintain the peace in the Indo-Pacific region within the South China Sea. And I know that the work that we will do in the time that you have here, brief as it is, in the time that you have here in the Philippines will be extremely productive and very, very important for as we chart our way into the future, considering how complicated geopolitics has become.
He also highlighted the long-standing cooperation between the Philippines and the U.S., particularly in supporting the country's pursuit of sovereignty without resorting to violence.
You are our only treaty partner and have and continue to be the supporter for peace in this part of the world. And we have always understood the principle that the greatest force for peace in this part of the world would be the United States.
Hegseth conveyed a message from U.S. President Donald Trump, expressing readiness to continue the alliance, friendship, and cooperation between the Philippines and the U.S. He also underscored the U.S. desire to expand military-to-military cooperation, which would be mutually beneficial for both nations.
And he and I both want to express the ironclad commitment we have to the Mutual Defense Treaty and to the partnership, economically, militarily, which our staffs have worked on diligently for weeks and weeks and months. There is a very real reason why our first trip and our first visit is here to visit you in your great country.
Hegseth praised the Philippines' strong stance in asserting its sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea, while emphasizing the importance of collaboration to prevent any conflict. He also stressed the importance of deterrence to avoid conflicts in the South China Sea.
Deterrence is necessary around the world, but specifically in this region, in your country, considering the threats from the Communist Chinese, and that friends need to stand shoulder to shoulder to deter conflict, to ensure that there's free navigation. Whether you call it the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea, we recognize that your country has stand very firm in that location and in defense of your nations.
Hegseth arrived last night and was welcomed by U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson. His visit is part of his first official trip to the Asia-Pacific region as defense chief. Aside from the Philippines, the U.S. official will also visit Japan, Hawaii, and Guam.